Hello again, and you join me in my shed. You may have seen my last video where I picked up a King Dick pipe wrench. Well, I've just restored it. Well, I've restored it to my standards anyway. It's the first tool that I've ever restored, so this certainly isn't a tutorial. It's just showing you my processes and what I've learned along the way. It's made me realise that I need a few more tools to be able to carry out these sort of operations to get them to this sort of standard anyway. I made sure that I wore eye protection and hand protection, but there's a few other things you may see in this video that aren't particularly health and safety correct. So you do your own research. Again, I'm not an expert. So let me show you. I started off by putting in vinegar. It cost me £1 from the local car boot sale. It looked like it was painted blue originally and there's some surface rust on there, but it's a good starting project. So it's been in this vinegar for the last 2 or 3 days. Getting into all the nooks and crannies. In fact, is it taking that paint off? Yeah, it is. Because it's my first project, I don't want to take this rivet out or this rivet out. God, it's looking nice already. I'm going to use some bicarbonate soda to finish it off. Look at that, the difference. So satisfying as well to see it coming off. Look at that. King Dick. A feeling that this tool restoration might become a bit of an addiction. Scoutcrafter mentioned that, and I think you're right, mate. There's a little score mark there. You can see it just there. Let's get this movement. Right, I'll give that one a wipe down, put it in some water and put some bicarb on it. Do this piece first. And the adjuster nut. Right, that will do. And then the adjuster nut. What is that called? Is it an adjuster nut? There we are. So there's the pieces. Bowl of water. I think you wash these first. And then put some bicarb on. I don't know if I'm doing this right or not. Oh, probably too much. Right, let's use some of that. Get a bit of a scrub. And I saw somewhere using lemon juice, I mean this is bottled lemon juice, also helps it. Let's give it a try anyway. A few drops. Ooh, it's fizzling. It's sizzling. Some sort of chemical reaction happening there. Right, I think that'll do. Stop sizzling anyway. Get the excess off. Let's dry them off. So this is what they look like. I think if I put that back together, it looked really respectable, but I'm not going to stop there. Let's go a bit further. Let's make this happen. That looks good as it is for a usable tool, but let's take it a few steps further. do to start off. I've actually had this a few years now, Parkside multi-tool or Dremel fake. Yeah, but it's worked really well for me. It actually comes with an extension piece, a flexible piece as well, but I don't think I need it for this. Right, that's turned out well. It's getting the little corners and the edges. I think I need to get a pack of those wire wheels for a Dremel. I've noticed that the writing in there, King Dick, it's scuffed up a bit. We can see it's got scratches and scuffs everywhere, but I'll take that down a little bit with a sander. And unfortunately, I haven't got a bench belt sander, so I'm going to have to improvise. I will, I think, after I've done this, I'll be purchasing one. I use the grinder with the disc sander next. One step closer. Look how that's turned out. Now, I haven't got a 3-pulley belt sander, bench sander, so I'm going to use just standard sandpaper. Use some elbow grease, give it some. There, I had to be careful not to interfere with the rivet. I'm going to leave the inlay as it is. I was going to paint it, but I think I'm going to leave that. I've done the edges around here, and I've rounded off the edges there. I'll do a bit more rounding off with the by hand sand, and then try and polish them up a bit as well. Right, I've run out of normal sandpaper. All I've got are these orbital sanders, old ones. That's 320 grit. So I'll start off by using those. Bit of elbow grease. Nice reflection in that. So I've gone in with the 100 grit just to take the edges out from the grinder sander wheel, just to smooth it out a bit. Now I'm just going to go in at the 320. You can actually start to feel it get less rough the more you do it. And the sound of it changes as well. You can actually feel it in your fingertips. So that's a few minutes with the 320 grit. Get in there. Yeah, I can feel it in my fingertips. The resistance changes. You get to a point where you feel like it can't go any further. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, look, that's getting a bit of a mirror finish. Is it? Yeah, once it's buffed up, I'm sure it will get a bit more. So this bit here, I might need to use 100 grit because that's where I couldn't get to with the grinder. So let's try 100 grit first and then go to the 320. You can see on there, it's not getting rid of the pitting obviously because I'm not going deep enough, but I ain't worried about that. It don't have to be perfect. Right, let me crack on with the rest of it. Right, a little while later. I've always said that a bad craftsman or a bad tradesman always blames his tools. Well, I'm going to say now that I definitely want a 3-wheeled pulley sander, bench sander. Whew. Anyway, so it's going to be a lot easier with one of them. Is the first part. So there's a lot of imperfections in there, but I've got a proper sweat on. So I'm going to buff this up. So I've shined up that area. I've left this part here. I've took the forge line off there, the casting line on that side. The other parts and the nuts, I'm cleaning with some alcohol. In there's quite a few indentations, but I've tried to round it off as best I can. But I think with a pulley sander, it's going to be a lot easier. So that's at first on my shopping list. But this is my first go, my first attempt, and it's good to see progression in it. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and I'm going to buff it up. Look at this. I've got some of this Mother's California Gold Brazilian Carnauba cleaning wax. Look at the muck already. That was a great tip, Scout. The good thing about this, it cleans it and also protects it. Let's get all these parts cleaned up. Look at that already. And in homage to Scout for all the help he's given me with the videos he's released on his channel, Scoutcrafter channel. Remember what it looked like before we started. And we're calling this project done. So there we go, all complete. I'm really happy with that. There's a lot of things on there I could have gone further on, but I do need to get one of them pulley sanders. It's going to make life a lot easier. But it's my first one, so it's a good starting point. There's my, I'll show you my worst bits first. So with a belt sander, I can take that right back and get a smooth finish. But I do like the almost mirror finish on there. It feels so good in the hand as well, especially I took that forge line, that line down the middle there, took that back. And if we look at the main logo there, yeah, it's definitely got a shine to it. I really like this. I'm never going to use it. I'm going to mount this either in a frame or on a stand, and number 1 next to it. Who knows what that number will go up to? One thing I have learned is having everything set up, like the steel wheel and the buffer and the grinder, all at hand with good room around them to maneuver. But I think once that's all set up, I may do. I've got a lot of old tools. Do like a marathon run. See how many I can get done in one day. Not to concourse or anything like that, but just to get all my rusty tools just up to a nice, usable standard. Probably a video to come on that. So really happy. What do you think to it? If you're new to tool restoration, it might have been of some help. Say I'm a complete newbie. And for them experts out there, comment below, but be very kind. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, much appreciated. And of course it'd have been better to take the pin out there, the pin out there, and the pin out that spring there. But certainly better than it was, so I'm very happy. That's a nice reflection there. So there it is, my first one. I'll put it in a frame or on a stand or something and put number 1 next to it. So who knows where this will lead. Thanks for watching. Take care. Cheers. See you next time on Weekend Shedhead.